welcome Minister, welcome to the week's Fireside Chat show.
Thank you.
Viewers, we have with us the young, energetic, dynamic Maharashtra Minister of State for Tourism, Sports, Industry and so on. Though she has a great background, a political background and a great legacy, she is a professor turned politician. She was a professor in Jai Hind College and she took 10 years to be in political arena, political election mode. Anyway, congratulations for being with us. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
First of all, your name is so peculiar and it is so interesting that it is very apt for a tourism minister because our mantra is Aditi Devo Bhava. Your name is Aditi Tatkare. How is Expo?
Coming to the name first, I feel I and my Minister for Tourism, Aditya ji, both of us have a quite similar name. And then it is Atiti Devo Bhava. So I feel it is a very good combination to start with. Coming to Dubai Expo, I think it provides us a very good experience. The general perception about Dubai Expo was that it is for businessmen and it would be like extremely corporate level, but then when you visit the expo you get to know about loads of things about other nations beyond our own. And with COVID from last 2-3 years we haven't had chance to visit any other usually as representatives of our own state we get an opportunity to explore more in terms of various factors which we are involved in. We have quite a few visits to other nations, we get to have these study tours and everything. But unfortunately, we haven't been able to have it from last 2-3 years. So Dubai Expo has given us an opportunity to come together, explore and experience the kind of vision every nation has. We got to know the past, present and a little glimpse of future of how the world is going to be and what are going to be the focus points. So it's been a wonderful experience.
They have created a springboard to drive from that, Right. Yeah. Then how is Maharashtra going to explore and expose its possibilities in this Indian Pavilion?
We've got this opportunity of exhibiting for good 2 weeks. It's going to be 15 days where Maharashtra, each department of Maharashtra will be able to exhibit whatever they have been, trying to nurture from such a long time. And obviously, like other pavilions, we also will get a chance to, give a glimpse of past, present, and what future holds for us, or what kind of vision as the government of Maharashtra we have. The best part about Maharashtrian Pavilion is that we are trying to focus on all the other sectors, not only limited to one. So if you notice in the pavilion we have industry, we have tourism, we have women empowerment, then we have agriculture sector which is one of the most important sectors, we have medical education. So we are trying to focus on different aspects and how collectively they are going to create what we desire to.
Okay. Then the pandemic has affected tourism sector the most, I think. The travels have been restricted. Could you elaborate on how the Maharashtra has affected, especially the economy, travel economy of Maharashtra?
I think past 2 years have been very difficult for each one of us, be it any other country for that matter. We've gone through the same phase. I mean, we've realized what one microscopic organism, a virus can do to our country or to the world. We've never, experienced such kind of emotions or such kind of phase in our lives where our entire life had come to standstill. Lockdown or quarantine, these were not the regular words which we had heard before. And so it's been a very difficult time. But again, there are some crises who actually give you an opportunity as well. And that is what Maharashtra tourism has done in this last 2 years. We've given this, all these months we've tried to create some kind of different policies which would, ensure that we have a brighter future in terms of tourism in Maharashtra. So these are certain things which we've focused on from last 2 years, and I believe that all these policies, all these decisions that we've made are surely gonna give us good results in the very near future. And I'm extremely proud that the tourism department of Maharashtra has been one of the award-winning departments even in the difficult times. So and Maharashtra having the kind of history and legacy, we come from the land of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and we proudly mention it in across the world, because that is a part of our identity. So yes, we do have responsibility to take it ahead, to take the legacy ahead, to portray our history in such a way that our generations to come should be proud of it. So as tourism department, we've gone through very difficult times. Likely mentioned by you, among all the sectors, the most affected was tourism sector, and I believe the the kind of attention other sectors have got, somewhere down the line tourism was not given the kind of importance before. Like no one thought about how tourism sector would get affected and all, because that time our priority was health and how to get our nation or state back economically,
back in the track.
So yeah, back on the track. So now we've started realizing that how tourism is the most important sector when it comes to employment generation.
I think I learned 28% of
yes, Maharashtra. And apart from that, we have around 10,000, more than 10,000 hotels in Maharashtra, more than 2 lakh restaurants in Maharashtra.
Being the economic capital also, yeah?
Yes, economical capital, one thing. And unfortunately, 30% of restaurants or hotels had to be shut down in these times of crisis. So those many people lost their employment who had invested in tourism. So the prime responsibility of our department is to get them back on their feet. So that is what the department has been trying to do.
Yeah, of course. In your vision, what is the potential tourism holds to create value for local community, both in terms of sustainable and economic development?
Like I said, Maharashtra tourism, it contributes around 15% of GDP to the nation. So yes, being one of the largest states, we have huge potential. I think tourism gives us an opportunity to be proud and portray our own culture. That is one thing. And in COVID times, or when other nations were closed to travel, and there were travel restrictions in, be it in India or be it while traveling abroad, that gave us an opportunity to actually promote our own tourism. There is a general psychology ki why should we we can anytime have local tourism, but we get rare opportunity to travel abroad. So in that perception, we generally don't give priority to seeing our own state, or So COVID gave us an opportunity to promote our domestic tourism. People were in such mindset that once the lockdown is open, we should just move out and we should just roam around and we should just visit places.
They were eager to go. So.
And that time there were restrictions. So this opportunity was grabbed by Maharashtra Tourism. We tried to promote what we have, and what should be seen first by the people of Maharashtra and India. So I think we utilized that opportunity, and people too responded really well. So what we have been seeing from last 6-7 months, from the time the restrictions in Maharashtra have been little loosen up, that people are coming, people are visiting, the heritage sites in Maharashtra. They want to explore every single point of Maharashtra which haven't been explored by them before. Thinking that traveling abroad is like an experience in its own. But so these are certain things that gave opportunity for sustainability and to promote our own local tourism, and also to promote our own culture, and in a way to kind of nurture it as well.
Okay, but the normal flights are not, flight service are not resumed. Then neither the visa rule has been eased. People are reluctant to travel abroad. How are you going to catch up this situation? Then how will you go into a big start?
I think the situation is getting better. Like initially, for instance, Dubai Expo, when during the second wave or third wave, we weren't sure whether Dubai Expo would actually take place or not, because it was planned for 2020.
Yeah, of course.
And then there was this gap of 12 months and we came back. So we weren't sure. But from last few months, the restrictions have been eased out. So have they in India and Maharashtra as well. So we believe that gradually we are starting to ease out the restrictions. Yes, it has changed the vicissitudes of the entire situation, of how we used to look at things. People have become more hygienic. People are looking forward for having more basic amenities on where they visit. More people want to have these homestay vacations. Work from home concept was never prevalent in India or in Maharashtra, which is now started picking up. People want to have work and leisure at the same time. So these factors have started giving us new opportunity to explore new ways in terms of tourism. It has started changing our outlook.
That means it gave us an opportunity to find our inner strength, I think.
Yes.
As a nation.
And explore the genres which we never had or never thought of. Like for instance, video conference was never preferred when in terms of meetings.
Online platforms.
Online platforms. So yes, digital platform or in-house tourism has been given much of importance, and people are finding it much more safer. So yes, as the department, our responsibility has increased. We need to give basic amenities at every tourist place possible. We need to ensure that people go with safe mind. When we go out for work, it is our since it's work, we have to be there. But when it comes to tourism, or when it just comes to move out or have a weekend getaway, that is our leisure time. So the mindset is completely different. It is not a compulsion, a choice. So tourism should be a choice, and that is the utmost responsibility of the department, that people should choose to move out.
Then relating to that, what are the key sectors you have identified?
Like I said before, we've tried and used this opportunity to create more and more innovative policies. Like we've tried to come up with policies like beach shack, agro-tourism policy. Then we've come up with caravan policy. Like I said, people want to have a safe environment, so that is where caravan policy will be creating a kind of separate space for them, and they would love to have such kind of experiences which are only, or which were only assumed to be available in the Western countries.
I heard you have started some mangrove parks.
Yes, yes. So I think agro-tourism policy as well has given chance for people to explore more beyond farming. Like farmers, be it male or female farmers, they never thought that they could go beyond farming. So agro-tourism policy is one thing which has given them an opportunity. Beach shack, of course, we all have heard about Goa, and all of us feel that it is one destination ki you have to be there once in a year. So we want to give same kind of experience in Konkan, where we have around 20 kilometers of coastline. And when we came up with this beach shack policy, we thought we would give same kind of, or maybe a better experience than what people have in Goa. So these are certain points which we have been trying to work on with. Apart from that, hospitality sector has got the industrial sector.
Yeah, that's what I am asking.
So that is one of the most important decisions the government of Maharashtra has been able to take. That decision was taken.
Can you elaborate what are the facilities hospitality sector is going to get?
So whenever one policy or one decision has been taken by the government of Maharashtra, it is not limited to one department itself. For example, when hospitality sector has been given the industrial status, there are other departments like industry, energy, home, they have tripped in so that we can ensure that this decision has been, implemented in a proper manner. There are kinds of incentives which are given to, and when the hospitality and the hotel industry was going through extremely difficult phase due to COVID crisis, due to this pandemic, that is when the Department of Tourism and Minister and the entire team, we all decided to come up with this policy, which was supported by Honorable Chief Minister and Honorable DCM. So I believe any policy which you try to get in or get it implemented always depends on the kind of support you get from the other sectors of the government.
More than that, you are the Minister of Industry also, State Minister of Industry. How it would become easy for you to handle all these things?
No, I think the industrial status which has been given to hospitality sector has given an opportunity for more employment generation. It has given an opportunity to the hotel and the hospitality sector to venture or to expand. It has given them the kind of confidence which was much needed in the time of pandemic. So these are certain things, and few important decisions those were taken, and I'm sure they are going to give good results in the coming year.
More than that, I think HoReCa sector is badly affected. HoReCa, hotel, restaurant and catering. How you are going to cater this sector in that?
Like I said, we've tried to come up with this, giving them an industrial status. That is an encouraging part. That's one thing. Other than that, ease of doing business policy, that is one. Previously, when they had to go through the procedure, that was, they required somewhere around 65 to 70 permissions. Now we've got them down to hardly like 8 or 10.
A single window system.
Single window system, that's one thing. And the kind of process or amount of documents or permissions they had to go through made the procedure more hideous or more difficult or discouraging. So when that once you're getting into the field or when you're getting into that sector with less amount of permissions and it is hassle free, it is quite encouraging for them as well. And it's very easier for them to get back on their feet rather than kind of just being discouraged or being depressed with the entire situation.
That means it will create a congenial ecosystem, industrial ecosystem.
Yes.
Yeah? That's fine. Then you have spoken in favor of women so many times. Then in your view, what role can be given to women in this tourism sector or economic and?
I feel equal role. I mean, being one of the women representatives, and we belong to a political party which has been giving equal amount of opportunity or respect to women empowerment. Also, as Maharashtra government, we have been getting opportunity to create policies that would attract more and more women entrepreneurs or women in terms of tourism. If you see, tourism is not limited to Mumbai or big cities. Mumbai, obviously being the financial capital, is one of the largest visited places not only in India but in world. But tourism is beyond that. Tourism in rural Maharashtra is also picking up, and that is where women have more opportunity to participate in it. So the policies like agrotourism, one, gives an opportunity directly to women to be involved in it. Beach shack policy is again something which is more concerned with hospitality or with serving good local food. That is where women have major role to play.
Yeah.
So these are certain policies which obviously give a chance for women to play an important role. And I personally believe that women have capability in them. They can run a business on their own given a chance. Yeah. So yes, tourism department as well is giving opportunity and incentives to women who are solely involved in the business. Like for instance, if it is a company run by women, or if it is a if they want to come up with a you know, agro-tourism farm or a sector which is completely solely handled by women, you know, so those are, you know, kind of given more encouragement by our department. So that in itself, and I believe the thought that women should be given a separate, you know, status, or I think it's all about being equal and getting equal opportunity and grabbing the opportunity.
Yeah, of course, you have to grab it.
Yeah.
Then what is the way forward for Maharashtra tourism? Where do we see it go from here?
Higher and higher, for sure. Like I said, we've been, you know, performing or utilizing this opportunity to come up with policies which will channelize what we have. You know, that is the most important thing. You might have thousands of things, but till you channelize them in proper way, you know, or till you bifurcate them in, you know, different sections. Like we have, like I said, agro-tourism, adventure tourism is something we are, you know, the policy which we are planning to come up with.
Ecotourism also.
Ecotourism. Yeah. So, you know, that gives us, ecotourism again gives us an opportunity to portray how important the environment is, and how we should try to maintain it. At the same time, how people are, you know, going back to their roots, and how people want to have all the organic, you know, food and the environment and the natural air. So that is when eco-tourism policy also, you know, plays an important role. So I feel whatever we have been trying to do from last 2 years will, you know, surely ensure that Maharashtra will be one of the topmost visited places in terms of tourism in the coming times. Be it medical tourism, we just signed few MOUs with 3 or 4 countries, so that we can, you know, emphasize more on medical tourism. Obviously, people want to have leisure and treatment at the same time. So then there are so many factors which can be explored. Forts, like I, you know, started my interview with mentioning how we belong to land of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and forts are most visited places. And we've come up with Maharashtra forts policy as well, where we are planning to restore, maintain forts, and how they can be, you know, seen by more and more people, how we can make our history reach more people, how we can restore and nurture it for the future generation. So these are few things which I believe are, you know, extremely positive and affirmative things happening in terms of tourism.
Talking about the policy, how you perceive current and future tourism policies for tourism restoration?
You know, these policies give confidence to people of different sector. Like, for instance, person who would be in, you know, agro or agriculture sector has agro-tourism policy. Person who is in adventure has adventure tourism policy. Caravan, and then we have beach shack, and then we have this industrial sector to the hospitality department. All these things, you know, give different amount of confidence to people involved in terms of, you know, tourism. We have everything for each one of them. So that is what, we've not left any sector away when it comes to, you know, different aspects of tourism. So collectively, we'll be able to portray Maharashtra in the most vibrant and the most cultural way. You know, if you see Maharashtra being divided in 6 divisions, when you go to Konkan, you get a different flavor, and, you know, you can visit beaches. When you go to Vidarbha, it is different in terms of tourism. When you go to western part of Maharashtra, you know, each have their own. We have Nasik, which is, you know, which has one of the best boat clubs and, you know, grape parks. So each part of Maharashtra gives you a different experience altogether. So our responsibility as department is to portray, you know, and maintain and develop these aspects so that they can reach to the entire world.
Besides this handful of portfolios, we have a guardianship of Raigad also. What are the programs you have set for Raigad?
You know, Raigad is one district which can be developed in, you know, it is an industrial zone. At the same time, we have wonderful beaches, beautiful beaches.
Coastal line is so pretty.
Yeah, Alibag, Murud are some destinations, or Srivardhan, which are already popular. We have Raigad Fort, capital of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Then we have some very international standard heritage sites as well, like Gharapuri and others. So every taluka of, every section of Raigad has tourism in itself. So having said that, there are so many things going around in Raigad. Like we have industries, large amount of industries, we have ports, and then we have tourism. So it is very tricky and difficult to maintain all the aspects of environment, tourism, and like it is quite eco-sensitive in that terms, and to maintain that factor is difficult. But we have been trying to come up with so many plans so that we can ensure that it is not limited to only industrial identity of its, but create a tourism identity of itself.
Being in Dubai, we can't ignore the happiness ministry over here. This very particular ministry here. Do you have any plan to increase the happiness? Or
to be happy and content within, and that somewhere down the line reflects. So that is what, as government of Maharashtra, we have been trying to, get over the negativities and try to spread as much positive. Yeah, the word positive hasn't been the kind of word which we would want to hear it,
no.
Since it was only associated to COVID from last 1 or 2 years. But yeah, that is one thing that we are planning to, spread a vibrant and a very welcoming atmosphere in Maharashtra, and I'm sure we'll succeed in doing that.
Okay, thank you, Minister, for being with us with your vivid and clear policies and revelations.
Thank you.
Thank you.